The Ohio Renaissance Festival 2024 has officially started. Hi, I'm Hannah. Thanks for coming to my channel where I talk all things costuming, cosplay, and live events. Today we are talking about opening day of the Ohio Renaissance Festival. First off, I want to start with a little bit of a logistics about the fair, pricing and ticketing and things like that. This year there is a brand new ticketing system that has kind of had a lot of discussion going on around it. Some people are happy about it, some people are excited, some people are confused. Basically, it used to be that you could buy a ticket at any point and you could use that ticket anytime during the season. They have gone away from that due to, I think, mainly crowding issues. There have been a lot of super long lines, which is great. Like, there's a lot of people coming to the fair. That's so great. I love that. But they think they are trying to help control and give a better guest experience, which I 100% support. So anyway, they only have a handful of tickets that were for any day. They still had some tickets that you could do that, but those have already sold out. And they are mainly doing dated tickets. And this is all aside from like season passes and such. Like that is a whole different category. But so they're doing dated tickets. So my husband and I were looking at our calendars. Okay, when are we going to go? We have to figure this out early. We decided to go on the opening day, August 31st. So we bought our tickets, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, at $30 per person. So $60 for the both of us, which really is not that bad. Like, I genuinely love this Renaissance Festival so much, and I think $30 is well worth it. The whole idea behind all of this new ticketing policy is to cap the amount of people at the fair each day, which I completely understand. And I'm looking forward to see how it goes, right? There's been a lot of lashing back from the patrons have been kind of voicing their opinion that they don't like that. I think the locals are going to like that. They're going to see less traffic, and I think it's going to lead to a better experience all around. This first day of the fair is not a great time to see if that has worked. Historically, opening weekend is one of the lowest attended weekends out of the Ohio Renaissance Festival, and I think that's for a couple of reasons. Mainly, it's also around the time Ohio State football starts. If you are not from Ohio State football is the end all be all in this entire state. It's also, like it's a holiday weekend, it's Labor Day weekend. People are going to have long-standing family commitments. Also, people have just started going back to school, so there's some craziness with that. People just want to take a break. And there's also the big factor, the summer heat. It is the end of August. It is still very hot here, and a lot of people just don't want to be out in that environment. I have never been to opening weekend before, but I will say it felt significantly less crowded. But honestly, it was great. There was like little to no lines everywhere. Everybody was in a great mood because, it's the first day back. It was about an hour and a half drive for us, which, that's pretty normal. We come to expect it. Parking is included in your ticket, so you don't have to pay a separate cash fee when you come in, which I love. I think it makes the parking process go faster. It's smoother. It's easier for the guest experience. And I'm seeing all of these changes over these last few years with the Ohio Renaissance Festival towards guest satisfaction and just happiness with the event and event planning and things like that. And I think they're headed in a really good direction. I mentioned that parking was included. And let me tell you, the crew that helps you park has it down to a science. They are like parking at Disney World. Like, they are just quick, efficient, let's go. So when we were standing there getting dressed by our car before we got in, people were, of course, coming in and parking like next to us, behind us, all that. Some person even like rolled down their window to talk to one of the parking folk and was like, "Thank you guys for doing so much better than the Great Lakes Medieval Fest. Like, that parking was terrible. You guys are doing so much better." And I was like, oh, so sad, Great Lakes Medieval Fair. Even though I didn't have a bad experience there, apparently this person did. So I just thought that was funny. Like, they do genuinely do a very good job. Upon entering the festival for the first time this year, it was pretty easy to see that there have been like shops and carts, stores kind of moved around a little bit, unless I'm just crazy and I'm remembering it incorrectly. But I was like, oh, this used to be over here. There used to be something else here. So if you've gone to the fair in years past, be prepared that it might be a little different. And I will say, I understand the people that did not want to go on opening weekend for the heat because, oh man, I had a rough time. So it was very hot, even though it was an overcast day. Like, it wasn't sun beating down on us. but it was still in the 80s. It was very humid. There were like little sprinkles of rain throughout the day, but I definitely got like very exhausted very quickly. And this was also my first time wearing like a very, very tight corset. Usually the bodices I wear are not as tight as what I was wearing today. And wow, I was zapped. I got in the car, I like chugged some electrolytes, and I was like, I need a nap. Some of the things we did, I've always wanted to do archery, and so I was like, today's the day, I'm gonna try it. They only take cash at those games, so I paid $5 in cash, and I got like 7 arrows. I think I didn't really count, and the guy working there showed me how to do it. My husband has done archery in the past, so he's pretty familiar with it, but it was brand new for me. I've always wanted to do it, so I gave it a shot. No pun intended. I don't know if the pun was intended or not, to be honest. But I shot all 7 arrows, and they sure hit something. It wasn't the target, but it was the bales of hay around it. I had a lot of fun. I was like making all of the like Katniss, Everdeen, and Merida and Legolas comments, jokes the whole time. The guy was laughing with me, and I don't know. I just had a really fun time with it.
But
if you could change your fate, would you?
terrible. It's all right.
I would change my fate.
All right, last one. You got this.
How does Legolas do this so quick?
Well, he's hundreds of years old. He's got a lot of practice. Nice. Hooray.
I'm hitting something.
Sure are.
We also saw most of the parade. I'm going to say most because we were technically in a store shopping when it started going past us. So I kind of like ran out to the front of the store to get a video of it. And man, it just lifted my spirits. It made me so happy. We saw the Queen. I saw so many wonderful outfits. So I'll show a little bit of the parade here.
Good day, fair people!
Make sure you come and visit us prior to playtime, 2:30. Someone here knows how to wave. It's the Queen.
We also saw something that we've never seen before. We saw what's called Equestrian Chaos. They were at the joust, kind of like before the joust. It was 3 women and their young horses who I think are training to become like joust horses or something. I could be totally wrong with that. I know nothing about horses. I could be completely wrong. But anyway, these 3 women were doing tricks with their horses, including like shooting arrows behind their backs at targets and making them. And there's some other stuff, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. It's really entertaining, and I really enjoyed it and would highly recommend. I think the other thing I'm going to include in activities. And I don't mean this in a negative way. It's the people watching. There were so many amazing costumes this weekend, not just people that work there, like fans. I saw so many wonderful costumes. And I think one of the reasons I love Renaissance festivals the most is because, well, there's two parts here. There's a part that is the acceptance part of just do whatever you want to do as long as you're not hurting others, just follow your heart. I love that. And then the second part is that seeing all of these other costumes that people have made or styled or upcycled or things like that really just ignites this passion within me to create more. I don't know if anybody else experiences that. If there are other artists watching that experience that, please let me know in the comments. But I always leave the fair tired, but also incredibly fulfilled and incredibly inspired to do more. Now let's talk shopping. I will say I love shopping at the Ohio Renaissance Festival. I feel silly because I'm I paid tickets, but now I'm just going to walk around in here looking at all the shops and all the cute stuff. But I think another reason I love the Ohio Renaissance Festival so much is that they really crack down and make sure that the things that are sold there are actually being handmade. There's nothing there that's made from Amazon or Temu or Shein or anything like that. It is all handmade goods. And so when you buy something, you are supporting a small artist, a small business, and that they actually made what you are buying. So I found some really cool pieces there over the years, and I will show you what I got in just a minute. The first shop is a shop that I cannot pronounce because I think it's French, and I just can't do French. It does not, I can't. I will post the name up there and share some video, but this is my absolute favorite place. I just want to live in this shop. Everything is so beautiful and feminine and lovely. And to be honest, I love going in. I just like being in there. But the other reason I always go in is because I bought a matching necklace and earring set there a couple years ago and just absolutely fell in love with it. And it's not cheap. That stuff is good quality. So I spent a good amount of money on it, and then have since lost it without ever having the chance to wear it. So every time I go in there, I'm looking deep, trying to see if there's anything similar to what I had purchased those couple years ago. And today I was sad when I was not able to find anything similar. But anyway, I'm linking their website in the description below. Please check them out. I'm not sponsored or anything. I just love them and I want other people to know about them. And I'm going to talk about the two other stores that I purchased things at today. There are a lot of other stores that I love looking at. I look at things all the time, but maybe the budget's not right or they don't have exactly something that really piques my interest, But the first one, and I've never purchased from this store before. This is Griffin Works leather. I bought some jailer's keys that look like this. And this just kind of looked really unique to me. I've never seen anyone carrying anything like this, or I've never actually seen this in the store either. So I don't know, maybe they only make a few of them and then they sell out every year. I'm not sure. They do have a website where you can buy things. These were not listed on the website. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I'm really happy that I got these. And the keys are really heavy metal, you can hear them clanging around. And then on the back, it's just this little guy that you slip your belt through and it just hangs on your belt. So I added it to my outfit I was wearing because it goes kind of with Tavern Wench, which is kind of what I was going for, but also it will definitely fit in with piratey. So I'm really happy. I ended up paying $45 for this, and I think it's, yeah, I'm really happy with it. So that was Griffin Works leather. Check the description box for a link to their website. And then the next place is a place I've purchased before. It is called the Leather Arts Store. My favorite part about this store is that they use their leather scraps to make these little dragons. And the first thing I ever bought at the Ren Faire was this little dragon. And I bought a new dragon to go with him today. So here they are on my hat first. I just added them to my hat on a flower crown that I had to give some extra detail on my hat. I'll take them off so you can see them a little bit clearer. This is the first guy I bought a couple years ago. I think he's super cool and unique. His texture reminds me of a map. but he's got just like a little clip on there. And then the next one, I was also wearing blue and yellow, so this one really stood out to me, and he matched my outfit, and he looked like he could be a brother of my little one. So he's a little bit bigger. And I'm sure this is actually really hard to see. There's my other little dragon. And I had blue and yellow on, as I said. And they had some more bigger ones, and they had some with feathers, and I just thought adding the feather guy would be pretty cool, and that I could add him to my hat for my little collection of dragon friends. I don't remember how much I paid for the little one a couple years ago. I'm gonna say it was probably like 20 or something like that. The new guy with the feathers, I paid $30 for him, which I still think is like, that is really reasonable to me. Like, the leather is hand stamped, there's materials and labor and everything. I think it's really reasonable, and I'm really happy with it. I just need to find a place to hide it so my cats don't eat it. So anyway, the leather art store does not have a website that I could find, but they do have a Facebook page with an Etsy link on that page. So check the description box for that. And I don't think they sell the dragons online, unfortunately, but you can see pictures of them on the Facebook page. Now let's talk about food. So typically we go to the place that sells bread bowls that have, like, you can get like either chili, potato soup, or mac and cheese in the bread bowl. That's typically what we do, because usually we go when it's colder. And those are $14 per thing, and you get like a ton of food, so it's definitely worth it. But with the heat and how like exhausted I was already feeling, I was like, I cannot eat that huge thing. Like, it's not gonna end well. So we ended up going to something that was nearby us and that we had never tried before. It was 1572 Roadhouse Barbecue. I think that's the name of it. But we ended up getting 2 pulled pork sandwiches, 1 side of mac and cheese, 1 peach cobbler, and 2 bottles of water, and it was about $36 overall. It's a lot of food, so I think it's pretty reasonable. I've mentioned this in a video before, but I am a very picky eater, and I took a couple bites out of it, and I was like, I can't do this. I'm specifically a picky eater with meat, so a lot of times when I go out to eat, I will just get something that is vegetarian or things like that. I don't know, that's just the way I am. Anyway, I didn't end up liking it, so I just gave the rest of it to my husband, and when he took a bite into it, he was like, oh, this is a lot more like gristlier than what I had. And I was like, oh, that's just my luck, of course. But anyway, I had the mac and cheese and the peach cobbler and was fine, and we drank water. We chilled out for a little bit before continuing on our day. I'm just so happy with the amount of drinks that are everywhere. It's very easy to find water, soda, alcohol. It's all very easy to find. At every alcohol stand, there is a sign that says "We do ID," and they have lots of different types of alcohol as well. There's just a lot of different beverages. There are a couple coffee places. There's just a lot of options, and I really appreciate that. In fact, I think this year there was a new coffee place in the back, like the woods area that opened last year. I think there's a new coffee place back there, which was cool because I only knew of one before, unless it was already there and I just never noticed it. Sorry. Anyway, my husband and I both had 1 alcoholic drink each. I had a can of like apple cider, and that was $6, which was like kind of a lot, but it was good. And I also had a nice coffee later on in the day, and that was $4. My husband got a beer that was on tap for $9. It's also an imported beer, so it's not like he got a Bud Light for $9 or something like that. I think it's called a Harps Ale. But we bought a couple bottles of water during the day, even though we did bring a reusable bottle. I'm not actually sure where the water fountains are. I always look for them and I never find them. I need to ask somebody where they are. But again, with the heat, I was happy to just buy it rather than try to sort out where to find a working water fountain. I was like, that's fine. We're just going to buy the bottled water. It's okay. I bought one for $3 at one point. And then my husband went and got like a 2 for $5 when he got his beer. Overall, food prices, I think, are still really pretty affordable. Those of you who are curious, there are turkey legs several places around the park, and each place I saw them, it was listed as $15 per turkey leg, and that seems pretty standard. All in all, it was a very successful day, and I'm so happy I went. And it was like, you could just feel the excitement and the happiness from people who are excited to come back to the fair. So if you have never gone to the Ohio Renaissance Festival, I highly recommend it. I am biased. It is my home festival. I don't know. I just really enjoy it, and I think it is a very special place. We did end up leaving a little bit earlier than I wanted to because of like the heat exhaustion I was feeling. We had intended on staying through the joust, but I was like, I need to go and take this corset off. We always drive to and from fairs in our normal people clothing and change in the parking lot so we can be comfortable. So I was like, yeah, it's time to go get out of the corset. But on our way home, we stopped at our favorite air-conditioned side quest, and you can check out this video for more information on our little side quest. And that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw today, please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.